Hey guys, my name is Ali and I'm a data and analytics consultant. In this video, we are going to explore Microsoft Fabric, better understand what it is, what problems it is trying to solve, and why it is one of the most significant shifts in Microsoft's data platform strategy in many years. So let's take a look at Microsoft Fabric and why I think it's important. So the first thing is just to understand, what is Microsoft Fabric. So the way Microsoft presents it and the way I look at it is that it is a complete SaaS data platform for ingestion, storage, transformation, and insights. So what does that actually mean? So we have this software as a service that Microsoft has created, and they've taken different components. And we're going to come back to that. But as it says, ingestion, getting data into the platform, storing it somewhere, and then having a way to transform it for different analytical purposes and then present it. I've written insights, but it can be also other ways to present it in other types of different data products. And what Fabric does is that it unifies Power BI, Azure Synapse, Azure Data Factory, and OneLake into one experience. So if you've been into the Power BI service, there is a GUI and you can see the screen and these kind of things. With Fabric, you'll be able to switch between different services depending on what it is that you're trying to do. If you're a data engineer, then you will go into the engineering part of Fabric. If you're a data analyst, you might sit in the Power BI part of the Fabric. If you're looking at something more advanced, it could be Synapse and notebooks. It depends, but it unifies all these services into one SaaS data platform. And like it says, one shared workspace for both developers and business users, which means, again, there's a place where both business users can go in and look at things and where developers can go in and create things. So Fabric is trying to bring all of that together. So why does Microsoft want to do this? Why do they want to use Fabric to bring all this together? And that is because the problem that it solves is that you have lots of different tools and different processes that doesn't necessarily talk to each other or are that easily accessible for each other. So before, you had more of a platform as a service thought around it. Now it becomes a software as a service. It's more interconnected. They can easily talk to each other, which is always something that you see in platforms. You have to enable that. You have to enable the different tools to be able to communicate over networking and different things. A lot of that comes together much easier with Fabric. The standards for governance and data models is also coming closer together. You can get data into the platform using Data Factory, and then you can create a Lakehouse in Fabric, which is easily accessed both by Synapse or Power BI. So there's more standards, both in terms of working with the data, the governance of the data, common data models. It just brings a lot of these components closer together. So that's a problem that it solves. And then the last one is slow setup and heavy infrastructure requirements. And that is that when you have a data platform and you have all these different components, there are requirements to get the infrastructure to be able to communicate and talk together. And it can take time. Of course, when you've done it a couple times, it doesn't take that long. But again, it's something that Fabric mitigates. More streamlined, easier to talk together, and more of different tools in one place to be able to work to solve different use cases. So if we just break down what is in Fabric, and these are some of the things. I know there's more, but these are the main things that I've kind of highlighted. Power BI, reporting and visualization, you most likely know that. Data Factory, pipelines and transformation, also quite known. Synapse in analytics and data warehousing. It's also part of Fabric. OneLake is a newer concept. We've had Azure Data Lake Storage for a while, but to have OneLake, which goes across one data lake, which goes across all these services, is a new concept. Copilot, also quite new, AI-powered development and analysis. And then we have PureView, which is governance and security. And like I said, there's plenty of other types of components that are in Fabric, but I think these are the important ones that you should know about and you should understand, especially if you today are working in the Power BI sphere and you're trying to understand the direction of Microsoft and where a lot of their development and evolution will happen, a lot of that will happen in Fabric. So it's very good to understand what else is in Fabric. So across these ones, you'll find, like I mentioned, in reporting and visualization, transformations, advanced analytics, storage, AI, and governance and security. So it's quite a wide array of different tools. And like I said, they talk together. They're in the same user experience, and very useful to know about these, especially as more and more of Microsoft strategy goes into Fabric. So some of the key benefits that I can just mention right away: fully managed software as a service experience, no infrastructure to maintain. And if you have a data platform today with Databricks, dbt, Power BI, let's say Airflow or Dagster, there is infrastructure to maintain. And of course, that comes with some benefits, but that depends on the company that you are in, the size of the team, budget, other IT functions that you have. Then Fabric could be a better fit than going for a best of breed software selection. It really depends, but this is a key benefit for Fabric. OneLake stores everything in the one location in Delta format. And again, to have one place which is accessible to all these different services is something that is great to have from the get-go. Otherwise, you need to figure out how to give that access. And that is also normal, but it comes back to the infrastructure to maintain. I think the built-in security and governance is huge, that you have that as part of the platform from the get-go, and it goes across all these components. And the last one is that it does help quite a bit with self-service and enterprise control, because there's one place where you access the tools, you inherit the governance across, and it's a experience that many will recognize when they go in, especially, like I said, if you've been in Power BI. So when do you use Fabric? I think if you want to have one platform that solves quite a few of your pains or challenges technically, I think it's a good place to start. I've written here when you want to consolidate tools into one platform. If you've had a data ecosystem with too many different tools, and it just becomes a bit of a pain for maintenance, that could be good. If you're starting a new modern data stack and you're trying to go from something older to something newer, Fabric could be a great starting point. Again, depending on, you have to look at your team and strategy and your vision and goals and those kind of things, and see if it aligns like that. But it could be that if you're looking now to take a step into a more modern data stack, that it's a good time to start to use it. And I've written, when you already use Power BI and you want to scale, it could be good. Let's say that you're using Power BI today and you're using Power Query, you're using some spreadsheets being dropped into a SharePoint, or you're reading a bit of a mix, sometimes from a SQL database, sometimes from spreadsheets, and it goes into one Power BI semantic model with Power Query. Then Fabric can be the tool to kind of break the different steps or processes that are all being now handled by Power BI into different tools that are more capable in each of the steps, but at the same time they still talk together. You still have the Power BI feel of the service, and the overhead of making all of this talk together isn't something that comes right away. It's still easy to have them communicate, and you can use tools that are better at the different steps, and not only Power BI, if that's what you're using today. So what's next? Let's say you're watching this video and you're thinking, yeah, we wanna try this. Then you can start with a pilot project and test it out. And instead of taking it into Power BI with Power Query, this time you take it into OneLake, maybe using Data Factory. And then instead of having the transformations happen in Power BI, maybe you do something in a notebook or something else in Synapse if you need that. So you try and take the different steps and put it into the different components of Fabric, and it should give you more flexibility and possibilities to do things with the data then. Then I've written, test it at a small scale before you go all in. It's always good to, dip your toes in the water before you jump in. And then, of course, the last point is to align use cases with business goals. If you're taking data into Power BI, if you're using Excel, if you're using Fabric, if you're using Databricks and DBT and all the big whistles and going all in, then you still need to know what is your business goal and does this platform make sense in terms of what it is that we're trying to solve. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn more about Microsoft Fabric, then I have written a full article and added the link to that in the description below. And if you want to learn more about Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, data strategy, or project management, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.